All right. Awesome. Thank you, David, for joining us today. My name is Samantha. I am on leadership with you for the Brighton Business Builders in Brighton, Colorado. And we are starting this member presentation interviews to help encourage people understand what our BBB is all about, and invite them to join us at our meetings. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being one of our first guinea pigs too. I know this is new and lots of fun. Some people are a little nervous, but not you. You're good at
I
this.
love it though.
I know.
I'm all right with it. It's okay.
It's good with it. So I wanted to start by talking a little bit about the Brighton Business Builders. You're new to the leadership team. What made you decide to get involved?
Yeah, so I love being involved with the community. This was a great way to serve and give back to that. It's fun learning about all the stories of all the other business owners, especially in our particular group. I feel like everyone's pretty unique in
Yeah.
what they do and how they do it. I wanted to jump on board with leadership and try to make sure that I can bring the best value that I can possibly provide to the group.
As a long-term member, I really appreciate you just jumping in feet first and really getting involved and all the different connects you're doing, even though you and I haven't had a chance to do that all one-to-one yet. We're going to have to.
We have to, for
Yeah,
sure.
we're definitely going to have to do that. But you really embodied the spirit of what the group is all about. And I really appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
So tell me a little bit, you can start wherever you want, but tell me about your journey and how you got started in with what you do.
Absolutely. So I was doing financial advising for several different years. I was working for Wells Fargo Advisors. I did thoroughly enjoy that job. I like helping clients. I like assisting people with their finances and helping them reach their financial goals. But I found out early on in 2020 that I was going to be having my first baby girl, and I didn't have any time flexibility with that job. So it was basically 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I couldn't do too much outside of that, and I wanted to spend time with my baby girl once she got here. So I had a couple clients that were mortgage brokers at the time, and they were just telling me how easy it was in this space to essentially make the same type of salary that I was making, and you're still serving the community and helping clients, right? So I thought that was interesting. Jumped over. They were right the first year. First year was amazing. And then, as we know, the economy took a turn, interest rates jumped up, and my life became even more interesting from there. But it's been a fun journey. I'm still helping clients, still succeeding in what I do, and I still love it. When I get to spend time with, now I have my baby girl Ari, and then I have my baby boy as well, Eli, that is here. So I get to spend time with them all the time.
That's so important. It really is. And it's valuable when you learn that lesson before or when they first get started. Unlike me, who took a job traveling and then 2 weeks later found out that I was pregnant with our second one.
Oh man.
And I did that for a few years, and then I wised up. I should be at home. These years go by really fast, and now mine are 21 and almost 16. So
Wow, the time does fly for sure. My daughter's about to turn 4 already, and then my son's going to turn 2 here in the next 2 months. So it's going to be wild.
it is a fun, wild, and way faster than you think ride. You'll look back and go, I remember there was a video that came up, total side note, but a video that came
Yeah.
up with memories on Facebook of my daughter when she was 11 months old dancing to some 90s music. And I love that video. I can't help but share it every single time. And I was playing it and she's standing behind me and she's like, Mom.
Right? Of course, of course. I know. Even now, I see old videos of my daughter when she's just learning how to roll and crawl around. And now she looks at it and she's like, what was I doing? Well, you start there and then now you're growing. So it's fun for sure.
It is fun. I love it. So obviously it's been kind of a fun and interesting ride with the new career, but
Yep.
just like BBB, you really just dove in and have really made an impression. If you hadn't told me that you were new-ish to the industry, I would have no idea. You just come off as such a professional. You really, really know your stuff, which I think not everyone takes the time to really dig in. So that makes you a huge asset, not only to the community, but to your industry as well, I think. So I was going somewhere with that to lead into a question, but I lost the question in my head as I was talking because that's the kind of day I'm having. So sorry.
No, that's right. But for sure, I think a lot of people, particularly in real estate, they get the license, right? And then they don't learn how to master their craft. And
Yeah.
for me, being from financial advising, that was one thing that I really wanted to take over is being in advising, you're dealing with people's retirements often. So
Mhm.
you don't want to mess that up. Well, the next big thing is people's homes, right? You're dealing with people's homes, their personal finances still. So I wanted to take that level of professionalism, apply it here, and build upon that. So thank you. I appreciate that because I have worked hard to study, read, and learn as much as I can within these last 4 years. And for sure, I think I'm doing an okay job, but there's always room to improve.
Well, and I think that attitude is why you are as good as you are at what you do. You really, when you go into something with the attitude of, yep, I've mastered this and I've got this, but there's still things I can learn. You're constantly learning. That makes a huge difference. So I love that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank
I
you.
love that. You're welcome. So I know that you've got some big things coming up to talk about, or they're big to our community anyway. So tell me just a little bit, just tease us a little. Why should someone come to the BBB and be a part of the group and hear your presentation?
Yeah, absolutely. So for my presentation, I am going to be targeting business owners specifically. So we do have a lot of business owners in Brighton. We do have a lot of business owners in surrounding areas that sometimes stop by. And for them in particular, just because of their tax optimized strategies, they do tend to have a difficult time qualifying for homes. So I have a couple different scenarios that I'm going to walk through of how to get qualified for a home and some different programs of easier qualifications as far as what you want to do while still maintaining that tax optimized strategy for sure.
That's awesome. I think a lot of times when I hear mortgage presentations, they often focus in on the first time home buyers and things like that, or
Yep.
they share a whole bunch of numbers that from I'm not a numbers person, so it goes like right over my head. But as a small business owner, my ears perk up. I'm like, hold on, wait, what? I could still buy a house even though I decided to quit my job and go full time,
Right.
despite
I
the
know.
fact
I
that I
know.
hadn't bought a house yet. So I'm super excited to hear about this program that you're going to present on, or the options, not necessarily one program, right?
Yep, exactly. A couple different options, but it all gets you to the end goal, which is the home. So it works.
As long as we get to our spot, that's always a good thing. Well, I'm going to switch gears on you now. So I'm like, good. Now people have a reason, but what would you say is the number one benefit of being in the BBB itself?
I think ultimately the connections you make. So there's so many different business owners that do so many different things that whether it's doing mortgage like myself, we have a couple financial advisors in there. We have taxes, we have bookkeeper, we have marketing like yourself, Ian. So we have a bunch of different things available in the BBB group and it's continuing to grow. We do see a lot of different industries within it, some that are super unique that I never even knew was an industry. You know what I mean? So I think that that is huge. So I think it's a benefit to every business owner to be a part of their community and then also learn about other businesses because you never know when you're going to need that service.
Or when you can refer it out to a client or something to have that as a resource, right? That's one of the things I
Exactly.
love. All right, last but not least, before I ask you the hard question, do you have anything
Uh-oh.
else that you want to share with the audience watching?
No, I think you'll get a lot of valuable information if you come to not just my presentation, but any future presentations with that group. Like I said, there's a lot of unique businesses in there too. So I think it's fun. Even if you go check it out, you can just check it out for free before you ultimately make a decision on whether or not you want to join or not.
So we let you come for two times before you have to make any kind of a commitment. So that's always fair.
Exactly.
Yes,
Right.
I love that. All right. Oh, and one more thing before we ask the hard question. How can people reach you, contact you? Are you on social media? What does that look like?
Yes, so I am making a big push on social media right now. So on Instagram, it's david.silva.money. On TikTok, it's also david.silva.money. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn. I am on YouTube as well. So I have like 4 followers or subscribers or whatever on YouTube.
I think
Probably
I
all
have
my
two.
family, right? So on any social media platform, you should be able to find me.
All right, I'm gonna look for you on Snapchat.
Well, I'm not on Snapchat.
I'm on there, but only to keep up with my sisters. So now it's time for the hard question, and then I'll let
Yep.
you get back to your busy day. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to your fellow business owners, your fellow community? I put you on the spot and I didn't put it in the cheat sheet. So just one random piece of advice. It could be anything.
Absolutely. One random piece of advice I would give is that there's always going to be struggle in anything that's worth value, right? So if that's a home, if you're looking to buy your first home or your last home or any home in between for that matter, right? There may be a struggle to get there, but as long as you work through that path and achieve the different goals that you set forth, I think that that struggle is always going to be beneficial at the end. So, and anything that's worth value, there's always going to be some sort of struggle to it.
Oh my God, that's great. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. For those of you watching, this is David. Wow, David. I'll try and cut that out. David with Source Mortgage, right?
Yep, you got it.
Gotcha. And I'm Samantha with More Than Serendipity Visual Marketing, and we are both with the Brighton Business Builders, and we meet Thursday mornings in Brighton, Colorado, and would love to see you there.
Absolutely.
All right, and then